Yo, what is going on, Cover One crew? Welcome back to the show. Hope everybody is good. We made it. This is the last one of the fantasy football season. We're talking Start Sit Fantasy Football Championship on the Week 17, concluding the contest on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We got to get those point tallies. We've seen some, poor play yesterday on Thursday Night Football. Only a 6-3, so we got, a lot of ground to make up. If you played any of those players in those contests, there is no question about that. It is going to be a grind. We got to get all the point tallies we got. Let's hoist those trophies. Like I said, I ride with y'all as well. Stay tuned for the off season. Like I'm saying, I do not stop 365. We will get there, but like you guys know, rapid fire, every team, every player, one last time for the season. Let's go, man. Arizona Cardinals taking on those Los Angeles Rams on Saturday. Cardinals playing spoiler, baby. And I mean, Kyler's still doing the business, man. 262 points. We can still trust A. Kyler this week. Low level risk, 9 boom games. He's just got to figure it out, man. You got to believe with nothing else to play for, they're going to let it loose a little bit more, and that's why I got Marvin Harrison Jr. on a sleeper on the mid-level. Yes, the floor is going to be very meek, but if you have a Marvin Harrison Jr. with not better options, you got to believe at some point they're going to force feed this man, and maybe this is the week to do it. I completely understand if you're going to bench Marvin Harrison because it has been so volatile. You're getting 5-6 points unless he scores a touchdown, and a lot of it is not on a Marvin. A lot of it is that Kyler just can't get him the football in the appropriate spots. Some of it is on Marvin. He's dropping passes. His route runs are kind of, meek overall, but I still like a Marvin this week for a potential, maybe shootout, you got to believe, but Kyler Murray giving us at least a decent 20-point floor. Where James Conner, the biggest issue right now, is he going to play? Is he going to sit? Right now, I got him on the injury risk grid. He is trending to play this contest. I am fearful of the decoy role, somewhat like the Tony Pollard, Tajay Spears effect, where he is, why would he trend to play with a knee injury at this point with the season basically over? So we will see. If you got James Conner, we will get more, notice on his health as the days do go on. I will update you in the comments, no question. That would uplift a Trey Benson if a Conner is out as well, along with a Michael Carter. But as of right now, we'll go with what we know. James Conner on the injury risk green if he does play. Wilson Dortch, no. And a Trey McBride, low risk every single week. 10 boom games. Had a rough week last week. Hopefully they're going to look to his direction in the end zone and he will finally score a receiving touchdown. Atlanta Falcons taking on the Washington Commanders, the Commies. Lots of rain games this week as well, potentially. There is some rain in the forecast. Michael Penix, we'll see what he does. Mid-level risk, had 8.9 points. He did not look bad last week. I mean, he did lose Drake London to a knee injury last week as well. And Kyle Pitts was the, issue for his interception this past week. Michael Penix did look all right, so at least we know the floor is good. I am not touching him in fantasy championships whatsoever outside of deeper leagues and super flex. I will not play it, but Bijan, he is the league winner, baby. 257 points, 12 boom games. He has done everything that we require of him this season. Got you in there. He will have a big day versus these commies. They will run the football a lot. You can obviously fire him up everywhere you got him. TD dependencies still for a Tyler Algier, where Drake London, he is... I think they said I had my graphics may be outdated due to the injury report because we are early. I will update you in the comments, but I do believe he is pegged to play this week, even with that knee injury. Drake London, mid-level risk. Don't dislike the play at all. I mean, you could easily play him with a low-end, wide receiver 2 numbers, potentially get into the end zone and be that low-end wide receiver 1. Don't dislike it. Where Darnell Mooney, we could absolutely fire him up in our flex. Good upside once again this week. Where Ray McLeod, say hey Ray, PBR floor only if a Drake sits. I don't like it. If Drake plays, then we would drop a Ray down into the red. Where Kyle Pitts, low upside on the red. We've been fading him the last several weeks, and we're going to continue into the fantasy championship. We are not playing a Kyle Pitts. Buffalo Bills Mafia taking on those New York Jets. Potential rain game as well. Josh Allen still running for that MVP. They looked, okay, so last week everyone's going to criticize the Bills' poor performance. They weren't playing balls out last week. They knew they could go at 50% and still beat those New England Patriots, which is what happened. We should see a similar event this week. A little bit better, you want to believe, offensively for the Bills to at least gain that lead versus an Aaron Rodgers club that is hitting, on decent cylinders right now. But good upside for Josh Allen once again. 10 points last week. probably killed a lot of us in fantasy football as well. We should see a rebound anywhere from 15 to 20 for a Josh Allen. James Cook, man, he's been cooking. 16 touchdowns, 16 tutties, 230 points. He's having a phenomenal season. James Cook was my dude from UGA. You guys know this. You follow me for quite some time. I love me some James Cook. Low-level risk, fire him up everywhere he got him. Where Ray Davis, he would get some volume floor on the mid-level if the Bills do put up a lot of points early on in this contest, but that's very much too difficult to play this week. Amari Cooper, Curtis Samuel, Keon Coleman. I'm going to go low floor PPR or high risk and then a TD floor respectively for these wide receivers. Not digging the play of really any of these guys this week again. It is so tough to trust these guys at any point because Josh just spreads the ball around and they run the football a lot. Where a Khalil Shakir, last week I did, fade him just a little bit, saying he would pull back, but he had opportunities. There was an end zone toss. He did drop one that was right in his breadbasket. So, the point totals were 3-ish. He could have had over 12 to 15 last week as well. So I got PPR upside in the green 7 boom games for Khalil Shakir. Decent flex option this week. We're a Dalton Kincaid TD dependencies for him as well on the mid-level. I am not liking the play of Kincaid this week for better or worse. Carolina Panthers taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bryce Young, he's doing the business, man. Had a great game last week as well. Little tougher defense going against the Buccaneers. I got him on a mid-level. He's got you decent floors, man. If you have been streaming quarterbacks, this is not the greatest matchup for championship weekend, but I'm telling y'all, he'll get you at least a decent, floor at this point, the way he's been playing ball, because Adam Thielen is back. Xavier Legette should be ready to suit up in this contest as well, but Chuba Hubbard, low-level risk, fire him up everywhere he got him. It does not matter the defense, man. If you've been riding Chuba all season, continue to ride the man, because he is going to absolutely get you enough points this week once again. Legette and Thielen, I'm going Thielen over Legette, obviously, where Legette has a mid-level risk. Adam Thielen low risk, because since he came back from his injury, he's been a favorite target of a Bryce Young. We absolutely love it. Where Jalen Coker, low floor, high level, and the Jatavion Sanders, high-level risk. I am definitely looking in other directions. Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Denver Broncos on Saturday. Huge divisional, or a huge playoff implication showdown, I should say. Denver Broncos still hold, everything in their hands. If they win this contest, they're in the playoffs. If they lose, they open the door for these Bengals to sneak in and take their spot potentially. Joey Joe, man, he's doing the business. Good upside in the green once again, even though the Broncos defense is very good. This offense has been humming, man, putting up massive amount of point totals. We do have some issues with a T. Higgins this week, ankle and knee. He's optimistic to play once again. I do believe right now they're saying he's trending in the right direction to play, which is good news. Good upside for a Joey B. You fire him up everywhere you got him. Chase Brown, 11 boom games, 216 points. This guy's been killing it, man, in the lead role. You fire up a Chase Brown everywhere you got him, even against a stellar Broncos defense, because this offense can move the football against anybody. There is no question. Jamar Chase continues his league-leading, wide receiver season. Unbelievable. 304 points, man. When was the last time we saw a wide receiver do this kind of work, man? Chase has been absolutely killing it. He is going to be a league winner for us as well. We're T. Higgins on the TDF side. Green, I don't dislike it whatsoever if he does play, but if he does sit, we will have to scramble for other options. Andre Yosevash, low floor in the red. He caught himself a touchdown last week, but outside of 14, 16-team leagues, not playing a Yoshi. And Mike Gesicki continues on the PPR floor. Not enough targets to go around as they continue to force feed a Jamar Chase. Cleveland Brownies taking on the Miami Dolphins. DTR, man, high-level risk, did not look good last week. Went exited with an injury as well. They got some injuries. We do have updates on a Cedric Tillman. He is out of this contest due to that concussion. Still dealing with it. Poor guy, man. It's been quite a few weeks that he's been dealing with that. But, David Njoku, Jerry Jeudy, all listed. They should be good to go this week as well. DTR not touching it versus the Dolphins, where Jerome Ford, like I said last week, was going to be a boom running back. He absolutely killed it for us this week again. Good upside on the mid-level. They will continue to force feed a Jerome Ford. He's a good running back, man. We saw it in Cincinnati back in college. He is a good running back to fill in. Where Jerry Jeudy took a haircut with a DTR, I would fully expect the same thing once again. On the mid-level risk, I would absolutely look in other directions than any Cleveland Brown player outside of a Jerome Ford and potentially a David Njoku, where I got him on the mid-level risk. He's been dealing with nagging injuries, man, ankles and knees and everything, etc. he should play this week as well. Don't dislike a David Njoku and a Jerome Ford. Outside of that, I think I'm fading all Cleveland Brownies this week. Dallas Cowboys taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Rain game here as well. Lots of rain this weekend. And I mean, Cooper Rush, you don't have a CeeDee Lamb anymore. He has been out, and he is done for the season. They're shutting him down with that shoulder injury. He's going to go get prepared for surgery as well. So what is the, remaining parts for this Dallas Cowboys team? We got Jonathan Mingo, Brandon Cooks, and a Jalen Tolbert. For me, I'm going to go Cooks, Tolbert, Mingo. Like, that's how you got to rank them at this point. Mid-level risks I got for both Cooks and a Tolbert. Targets are going to go somewhere where Tolbert has been the more consistent, reliable one right now, where Cooks, his TD upside definitely continues. So, pick your poison. If you are playing one of these guys, I don't know how the hell he made it in the finals anyway, but if you are, I would likely play a Tolbert on the safer PBR floor than a Cooks on the TD upside. Cooper Rush, low floor, downgraded without a CeeDee Lamb because CeeDee was doing a lot of things good for him. I would definitely look elsewhere for him. Where Rico Dowdle, he's got the volume floor for me on the mid-level. They will give him his touches, but he is definitely going to be TD dependent in this game versus an Eagles front seven that knows how to stop the run. I'm looking in other directions here as well, where Jake Ferguson, last couple weeks, coming back from his injury, has not been great. This is the week on the PBR upside. I do believe without a CeeDee Lamb, he will see target share, and I think a Ferguson is decently safe floors coming, even if it is in garbage time play. Denver Broncos taking on those Bengals, like I'm saying on Saturday. Bo Nix, Bo knows. Does he know enough to get his team into the postseason? We shall see, man. Tough loss last week. We will see how they do perform. The Bengals defense is not stellar whatsoever. They can be gashed, and I do believe that Sean Payton, Coach Payton, will have this team ready to go. Low-level risk for Bo Nix. He should be able to at least run the football. He should be able to throw the football, and he has looked good, basically since like the week number 5. Bo Nix has definitely turned a corner in his game. Javonte Williams, TD upside on the mid-level, definitely exists here as well. They're going to have to run the football quite a bit. Vontae has not been great this season. 121 points, only 3 boom games. You wanted better, you hoped for better, just did not happen. Vontae is a risky type of play, but there is potential for TD upside here as well. Cortland Sutton, low level risk, fire him up everywhere he got him. He should be able to at least, they're gonna have to match score for score, you know this, so the points could be coming in this game in a very big way. Sutton is a big one for me this week. Love me some Cortland Sutton. We're Marvin Mims and a Devon Vele, TD floor for Mims on a mid-level risk, PPR floor for a Vele. Don't dislike it whatsoever. If it is me, I'm going Vele over Mims, but I don't like necessarily either one of them in the championship. And Adam Troutman, high-level risk, like he has been all season. Detroit Lions taking on the 49ers on Monday Night Football, baby. It should have been a good one, and the 49ers season is done. So, they'll compete, they'll try, but the Lions, they're still a well-oiled machine, even without a Monty, still dealing with that knee. Could be coming back for the NFL playoffs rather than fantasy. He's done. But low-level risk for Jared Goff. He's been playing very good football. They're still spreading the football around. They got Sam Laporta back in the business. I do like it. So TD upside in the green for a Sam Laporta. Low-level risk for Jared Goff. Fire these gentlemen up everywhere you got them. You know what they're going to do with a Jahmyr Gibbs. We love this guy, man. Low-level risk. You fire him up everywhere you got him. 14 boom games, man. 269 points. This guy is another league winner for us, man. Gibby is going to do the business this week against the 49ers, who have seen better days. Amon-Ra St. Brown continues. 232 points himself. He's killing it as well. Fire up an Amon-Ra everywhere he got him. Like always, he is so good. Where Tim Patrick, I'm fading this week. High-level risk, not trusting it. And a J Mo does get downgraded to a mid-level, even though there is potential for him to catch another TD this week. Don't hate him in the flex. I would think there are better options because it looks like they're starting to integrate a Sam Laporta that much more. So J Mo flex appeal only for me this week. Green Bay Packers taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Jordan Love, feeling the love for love. This is a running team now, baby. Josh Jacobs absolutely killing it. And I got some problems with you people, and that is Josh Jacobs. You had 3 touchdowns and potentially 200 yards, man. You could have carried so many of us to the championship game, even though he did put up like 18 to 20 points. Sucks, man, because I needed a big game. Did not make it in one league. Low-level risk for Josh Jacobs. He's been absolutely killing it in this offense since they basically switched to the run-first approach, but it is helping Jordan Love spread the football around. He had about 18 to 20 last week, so you're going to get a roughly similar floor. Big game, divisional showdown. Minnesota's continuing to try to push those Lions, or the Packers continue to push for their playoff. They're in anyway, but they're continuing to push for playoff seeding at this point, so you can play both a Jordan Love and a Josh Jacobs everywhere you got him. Romeo Dobbs, Romeo. Kind of haircut last week, mid-level risk, but with a Christian Watson dealing with an injury, I'd be shocked if he does suit up in this contest with that knee injury. Would uplift a Romeo Dobbs to having a safer floor than he had last week. Don't dislike the play where Jayden Reed, man, it has been shades of what we saw of Jayden Reed early on, this season. And I think that, again, this week, I mean, you're probably, and I would be shocked to see, I would love to see who's got Jayden Reed still on their championship roster, because at this point, PPR floor in the mid-level, he's giving you anywhere from 6 to 12. Like, that's all you're getting, and it's roughly lower than the, 12 every single week at this point, unless he finds his way to the end zone. Not really liking it, Jayden Reed, even though he's going to break out eventually. I just don't like it this week, because he's likely going to cost you more than he's going to help you this week. Where a Christian Watson, like I said, I'm fading. Dontavian Wicks, high-level risk. Way too volatile every single week. Where a Tucker Kraft on the mid-level, he should get you at least a decent floor this week, even though Luke Musgrave is coming back as well, and the Kraft did pop up on the injury report with a hip injury. Don't dislike the start of Kraft. I just hope that he finds a way into the end zone for y'all, because I got him as a bust player, and you can still play him because tight end is so, easy to get into the boom. I just think that they might go to these wide receivers and run the football quite a bit this week as well. Indianapolis Colts taking on the New York Giants. Rain game here as well. A Rich, I still got him listed as a starter, not practicing here on Friday, but we'll see. Back and foot issues. They got optimism that he is going to suit up in this contest. Mid-level risk would be a decent streaming option if he is healthy, because, again, the rushing upside will be here with a JT, and A-Rich can absolutely vulture touchdowns once again. Mid-level risk if he does play in the rain. Could see some turnovers, fumbles, or interceptions, but you can see they're pulling back the passing upside for an A-Rich at this point. They are still fighting for their playoff lives, so they got to beat these Giants. We will see, man. You got better options for streamers. I absolutely would take it, but we will see. I will update y'all in the comments on an A-Rich. JT, man, low-level risk, fire him up. This guy's a beast, and he could absolutely be the league winner you're looking for once again this week as well. Josh Downs, we're always down for Downs. PPR upside in the green. He is the number one wide receiver on this team right now, where Michael Pittman has taken a massive backseat. Regrettable season for a Pittman, not touching it. A.D. Mitchell, not touching it. And Mo Cox, Mo problems. Mo Alley Cox, we are not playing this week like per usual. Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Tennessee Titans. Mac Money Jones, okay, he's up and down this roller coaster. He's like another Jameis Winston, throwing picks, making dumb decisions, but can find his wide receivers like Brian Thomas Jr. when he has to. So mid-level risk, you got to temper those. I mean, anywhere from 13 to 18 points is your kind of range for a Mac Jones if you are streaming quarterbacks. But what do we do with Tank Bigsby and a Travis Etienne? Here we go again. Very similar point totals, 8 to 12 for both these gentlemen outside of scoring TDs. Tank does have the TD floor where Travis Etienne is on the volume floor. You are probably safer at this point to play Tank over a Travis if you had to choose. Parker Washington, Devin Duvernay not playing this week, where a Brian Thomas Jr. continue to fire him up. If he's carried you to the fantasy championships, you fire up a BTJ, because 206 points for this rookie, 11 boom games. Unbelievable season he has had. And Brenton Strange, man, you killed so many of us. He was a hot waiver wire commodity last week at the tight end spot, and he absolutely crippled us with that fumble, and then he didn't see the field after that. So this week, mid-level risk, temper those expectations. If you got better options, I'm definitely taking them. Los Angeles Chargers taking on the New England Patriots on Saturday. Justin Herbert, man, low-level risk. Even though we do have, Gus Edwards out, potentially seeing J.K. Dobbins suit up in this contest. I don't have J.K. listed here, but if he does play, I mean, it's so tough to trust. You guys have seen my evals. I'm not going to be a hypocrite on it. We talk about guys like Isaiah Pacheco, others that come back from their injury. I want to see at least a game or two before we can unleash them. So for me, I'm going to fade a J.K. this week. You're almost hoping he sits so you don't have to deal with that problem. But if he does play, they're going to give him at least some touches. They're going to nurse him back because, but it is do or die for them. They got to make the playoffs, so there is is potential there. I'm almost talking myself out of this situation. So if JK does play, you're struggling at running back, I don't dislike it, but definitely temper those expectations. He could foil you, definitely. Hassan Haskins and Kamani Vidal would take over the reins if a JK sits as well, because there is no Gus Edwards. TD dependent for a Hassan. He would have the volume share upside on this running back room over a Vidal at this point. PPR floor for Vidal, not liking it. Where Josh Palmer, I wish they would use this man more. He makes a lot of big plays. We can't touch it in the championships. Where QJ, low floor. He's likely going to see a lot of Gonzalez. Gonzo for these New England Patriots. Don't like it whatsoever. But Lad McConkey, he's a good lad. He's got PBR upside up the wazoo, man. We can absolutely fire up this guy. Lad McConkey's had a wonderful rookie season. And Will Disley, still dealing with the injury, has not been cleared yet. So, I mean, I would look in other directions for the tight end. Even Smart has not been as great as I had anticipated him to be at the tight end spot. Los Angeles Rams taking on those Cardinals. Matthew Stafford bounce back. They're going back home in the dome. You got to know that they're going to play some football, man. And going on the road in cold weather, Matthew Stafford, he's warm and fuzzy now, man. He does not like the cold weather or the rain. You know what he's doing. Bounce back in the green. They're going to get this offense moving. They want to win this division. This is a big game for them. They got to win to keep control of the division. Bounce back game for Matthew Stafford. I really like it this week. Kyron Williams, every single week he has been our guy. This week he will do it once again. Low level risk, 13 boom games, 240 points. League winner coming for a Kyron as well. What do you do with Cooper Kupp? That is the biggest issue right now. I got him on a PBR upside on the mid-level, but there is bounce-back appeal here. He has been very bad the last 2 weeks for a lot of us, and I think this is the week back at home. They're going to get back to basics. Cooper Kupp should have a decent to good day, potentially finding his way back into that end zone where Demarcus Robinson, he's high-level risk, hasn't done much since his injury, and I don't think he will do much this week as well, where Puka Nacua, fire him up everywhere he got him. At least, last week wasn't great, but he's going to have a good day as well. It will go back to a Kupp and Nacua show. You got to believe in Tyler Higbee. Definitely target dependent for me at this week as he's come back from his injury, found his way into the end zone. Scored you, 7.6? Not great for me, but I think there are better options. Las Vegas Raiders taking on the New Orleans Saints. Aiden O'Connell, mid-level risk. Saints are done. They're packing it in. It is not a good year. And, I mean, likewise with the Raiders, they're playing for pride. They're playing for potential, jobs next year. Mid-level risk for an O'Connell, not touching it really outside of deeper leagues. They were Amir Abdullah. Absolutely, man. I do like the play of an Amir Abdullah, even in garbage time, potentially has a 17 spot for you last week. Sitting on your flex, probably carried a lot of y'all as well. He is one of these guys where they're not necessarily trusting in Alexander Madison on, full volume upside share. Amir Abdullah is still catching you passes, good upside on the mid-level. If you got Amir, I do like the play if you're struggling to fill the spots on your flex or, deeper, running back slots that you do have. Madison, don't dislike it on the volume floor, but I do, lean toward an Amir Abdullah to gain more points than a Matty this week. Trey Tucker not touching it, where Jacoby Mayers, PBR upside on the mid-level, foiled us last week. I mean, it's been so up and down, but playing the Saints defense, they have seen better days as well, so there is potential for a Mayers to have a better day, but it is the Brock Bowers show. Low-level risk, fire him up. He is going to carry us once again this week and bring us a fantasy trophy. Miami Dolphins taking on those Cleveland Brownies. Good upside for a Tua. He was dealing with an injury as well on the hip. He should be good to go, fighting for their playoff lives still, even though it is very difficult. They need wins and help. Good upside for a Tua. I mean, Tyreek Hill apparently on the jugs machine catching like crazy, and they got a Jalen Waddle potentially back this week. I will update y'all on Jalen Waddle's, status as well. Tua, for me, he's been okay. I think that there are better options this week as well, but if you are, have been playing a Tua, I don't hate it. I just don't love it this week. Devin off the A-Chan, low-level risk, fire him up. He's been killing it. We know this. Another potential league winner for an A-Chan, where Tyreek Hill, mid-level risk. He killed us all season long. Definitely a regrettable season dealing with that wrist injury. Not in it basically all year. Handful of contests he's blown up. But I mean, if you're in the finals, I got to preach play your studs, man. So if you got Tyreek Hill, we got to suit him up unless you got greater options than these. I would definitely fire up a Tyreek. We're a waddle time. I'm not playing it this week. Basically, haven't played it all season long. I'm definitely fading him this week once again. We're a Malik Washington, PPR floor, deeper leagues potential. We're a Jonnu Smith, low-level risk. We're firing up a Jonnu everywhere he got him. He has had a fabulous season overall. Minnesota Vikings taking on the Green Bay Packers. Sam Darnold, good upside in the green. This offense is moving in the right direction. 12 boom games for Sam Darnold, man. What a year he has had. He's continuing to play for his contract next year. He's continuing to play for the job here in Minnesota over J.J. McCarthy, rookie that's been injured. If they make a deep playoff run, how do you move away from a Sam Darnold? We can't either in fantasy football. Good upside. If you got him, I'm definitely playing him, especially in Superflex leagues. Love me some Sam Darnold. Aaron Jones, I got a boom game listed on this man. They're going to continue to force feed him 11 booms. While they've been kind of on the lower end, he's like the running back 15 right now. Don't dislike Aaron Jones every single week, and this week is no different. Revenge game once again for a Jones. He's going to want to stick it to his former club. JJ, low-level risk. We're just like a Jamar Chase. Fire this man up everywhere you got him. And a Jordan Addison, Addy, my dude. He's been doing more than enough to give us enough point totals to carry us as a secondary wide receiver. TD upside on the mid-level. I do like the play. We're a TJ Hawkinson. Oh, man, PPR floor on the mid-level. I can almost put a red here because he's been so volatile since coming back. I mean, you got to think that this is going to be a game where they're going to try to utilize a tight end, open things up down the field. So Hawk, for me, he's kind of that 50-50 for me. I want to see more upside, but I just can't give it to him this week. If you have better options, take them. If not, I don't hate the play, but you got to temper the top-end points, man. New England Patriots taking on those Chargers on Saturday. Drake May, baby, what I tell y'all, this kid is ready. He's legit, and he will get better once they add more talent to him, man. Chargers defense is good, but Drake May is good enough as a streaming option every single week at this point. 177 points, baby, for this rookie. He's been doing very good with far less options on his offense. Mid-level risk streaming option, 110%. Ramondre Stevenson, TD floor on the mid-level. I'm fading it this week. I don't care. I don't like it. I think the Chargers are definitely going to stifle the run attack quite a bit. We're in a Gibson, might get more PPR upside here. I just don't like the running game this week. We're a Keyshawn Butte. I got him on a mid-level. 18 points last week, man. They starting to figure some things out with a Butte and a May. Butte's a good wide receiver, man. He's from LSU. You guys know this wide receiver you over there. Butte is a very talented wide receiver. Just, attitude issues, injury issues was his problem. I like him on a mid-level risk. Only in 14 and 16 team leagues, not in 12 and up. He should do at least decent for you. Kendrick Bourne, not so much. We're a Pop Douglas, pop. PPR floor, man, 5-6 points is all you're getting outside of finding the end zone, which he does not do, so I'm fading a Pop this week as well. But Hunter Henry, mid-level risk. This is a revenge game as well, going back to the Chargers. I do like a Hunter Henry this week on the mid-level risk. New Orleans Saints taking on the Las Vegas Raiders, patch-made club. Spencer Rattler, high-level risk, not touching it. Kendre Miller, you all thought, volume upside was there. So did I. But I told y'all last week it was a terrible matchup. I was not playing him this week. Decent upside for him. He should be able to find more room to scamper through. Mid-level risk for a Kendre Miller on the volume upside. I do got Alvin Kamara listed here because I can't finish a season without having Alvin sitting here. He's probably not going to play, okay? It's just, goodbye, sweet prince, because you basically got us to the finals. And, now we got to sit you. Injury risk for an Alvin Kamara. I don't foresee him playing this week, but we had to put him with his 12 boom games and 231 points. MVS, low floor, not touching it. Cedric Wilson, likewise, not playing it. But Chris Olave, CO2, my guy. He's got a target floor looking to suit up in this contest. I don't even know why. They should have just shut him down. You can't play Olave this week either. No matter how badly we want to, we can't touch it this week. But a Jawan Johnson, mid-level risk, should have some PPR upside. Not near enough to trust for me. New York Giants taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Drew Lock, low upside in the red. He's dealing with a shoulder injury. Tyrone Tracy's dealing with an ankle. Malik Neighbors dealing with a toe. They're both practicing on Friday, Tracy and Neighbors. Good news, good upside, even though Neighbors said he is going to be likely more a game-time decision, so we got to watch out for that, not playing lock. If Tracy does go, I'm absolutely playing a Tyrone Tracy this week, mid-level risk. He's got some good boom upside, where Devin Singletary would get the volume upside if a Tracy sits, so we could, maybe look in that direction if you're struggling for running backs, but I wouldn't do it either. Tracy is the dude, man. Malik Neighbors, We got to hope he suits up this week, because if he does, I'm definitely firing him up. His floor has been very good, very safe overall, where a Darius Slayton or Wan'Dale Robinson would get an uptick. That's why I got the upticks here right now. If a Neighbors does sit, I would go Wan'Dale over a Slayton once again this week, but Slayton does take over the Neighbors role, but you got Locke throwing him the football, so it's not necessarily good. It's no bueno, regardless on how we want to cut it. But if we are looking, it is Wan'Dale over Slayton. And Daniel Bellinger, people don't even know he plays in the NFL basically at this point, so we're not looking in that direction. New York Jets taking on my Buffalo Bills. Like I said, rain could be a factor. Aaron Rodgers, good upside on the mid-level. Buffalo is going to be resting starters as well. I mean, we saw some injuries. They're going to be playing that, soft performance. They got to win one out of the two to lock up this the number 2 seed. So, I mean, do they want to get it out of the way in this contest? You want to believe. So, Aaron Rodgers could see some rush coming his way. I do like me some Breece Hall on the low-level risk. The Bills do struggle to stop the run on the outside quite a bit. So, Breece should get some opportunities. Lots of checkdowns coming his way. But Devontae Adams has been killing it. Low-level risk. Fire him up everywhere he got him. We're Garrett Wilson. I am going to fade this week in the championship, man. I think we got to do it. If you've made it with a Garrett Wilson, it has not been a good stretch since Adams did come to town, where Rodgers, he's just finding Adams on the regular and basically fading to Garrett Wilson. So for me, it's Adams, it's Hall. Rodgers, you can definitely stream. Garrett Wilson, I'm fading. Likewise with a Lazard and Conklin. Do not like the plays, but it's been very rough for a Garrett Wilson overall. You got to feel for the kid. He is getting very frustrated. Philadelphia Eagles fly, not with a Jalen Hurts. Hurts apparently on the wrong side of playing, so I will list Kenny Pickett here on the low upside, mid-level. I mean, it is the Cowboys. They're going to try to play ball. Kenny's not a streaming option for me whatsoever. Even though you got A.J. Brown and Smitty, I don't like it. They're going to go run heavy with a Saquon. If Jalen Hurts does play, you absolutely fire up at Jalen Hurts, and you upgrade everybody on this offense. A.J. Brown goes from PPR upside, green to a low risk. Devontae Smith would go from mid-risk to a good upside in the green for me with a Jalen Hurts, but we're keeping a Saquon on the lower-level risk. He needs like 250 yards or something crazy to break in Eric Dickerson's all-time rushing record. Let's go Saquon. Carry us to the championship. Saquon's going to be a league winner for us, regardless of who is starting at quarterback, no question. But can you play an A.J. Brown with a Kenny Pickett? 100%. Can you play a Smitty? I'm going to fade Smitty with a Kenny Pickett. That's just how it is. It's how it's got to be. Jahan Dotson, Grant Calcaterra, I am not playing with a Kenny Pickett this week either, man. San Francisco 49ers taking on the Detroit Lions on Monday Night Football. Brock Purdy, he's still looking Purdy, man. He's doing enough, 20 points. I mean, they still got players. Debo went off last week finally. I like Purdy this week. Low-level risk. Detroit does struggle to stop anybody offensively with so many players on the injured reserve. On the defensive side, we should see a lot of points on the board. Brock Purdy is going to be a good one. Where Isaac Guerrero, he should be good to go to suit up in this contest. If you got him, you're going to have to wait till Monday, so you better have a backup plan ready if you're planning to suit him up, because he still is dealing with a foot and hammy. He could be a late-game scratch, no question, so definitely have something ready. If he does play, don't dislike the start, no question. Debo, good upside on the mid-level. If we got him, he got you here. If surprisingly, I'm going to play him. I'm really am. And I'm at the point right now where it's like, you know what? This is the last week. This is the finals. We need upside. I'm going to play Debo if I got him in my finals. Good upside on the mid-level. Should find his way back into good levels of point totals. Ricky Pearsall not touching it. We're Juwan Jennings kind of doing this yo-yo the last several weeks. PBR upside in the green. I don't dislike him in my flex either. We're George Kittle, the people's tight end. His unbelievable season continues. You absolutely fire him up. He is a league-winning tight end for us this season. Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Carolina Panthers. Bake show, man. You guys had the playoffs in your hands, in your control, and you let it slip out. This week, they're going to try to take it on the Carolina Panthers. Low-level risk for Baker. He's had a hell of a season, man. You got him likely off the waiver wire. 12 booms, 324 points. You can play Baker this week. In the fantasy championships, he will do good news, man. Bucky Irving, low-level risk. Fire him up everywhere you got him. Rashad White, what do we do? He fumbled the football last week. He kind of did not see as much touches as I had anticipated last week. Good upside on the mid-level. If you got Rashad White, don't dislike it. There should be some more opportunity for him this week as well. We're Mike Evans, TD upside in the green. You fire up Mike everywhere you got him. Sterling Shepard and K. Dotton have been ruled out of this contest, even though I got Shepard on on the list here. Take him out, remove him, upgrade a Jalen McMillan. Good upside on the mid-level. He was, once again, I told y'all, man, I'm tooting my own horn, but for rightfully purpose, man, and McMillan is my dude coming from the Huskies. Told y'all he's going to be a great secondary wide receiver, and that's exactly what he's turning out to be. We can play an Jalen McMillan this week with a Mike Evans, with a Bucky Irving, temper the high-end expectations on a Rashad White. Tennessee Titans taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mason Rudolph, mid-level risk. 14, 16-team leagues, super flex leagues, you can play a Mason Rudolph. As shocking as that sounds, his floor is decently enough up there where we can get some upside. But again, Tony Pollard, man, you killed so many of us. Still dealing with that ankle injury. Tajay, back-to-back weeks of 20 points. I think we got to flip it, man. It's Tajay over a Tony this week once again as he continues to deal with this issue. Pollard's giving you about 8 points where Tajay's just ripping it up, man. Injury risk on the mid-level for Tony. We're volume upside in the green for his Spears. I got to do it, man. Spears over Pollard. It is what it is as we enter the Fantasy Championship. Calvin Ridley, TD upside versus the Jaguars. Somewhat of a revenge game. Only played 1 year there. I mean, it's not so much revenge. He should find his way back into the likes of the end zone where Tyler Boyd, no. Nick Westbrook, Akine, not touching it, but I do like me a Chig Okonkwo mid-level risk. There is upside with a Mason Rudolph, especially with the check down appeal, and if the defense does play the double safeties up top, they do leave an Okonkwo open, and Mason Rudolph just takes what he gives him. I do like an Okonkwo this week. Last one, the Washington Commanders, the Commies, taking on these Falcons. Potential rain game. Jaden Daniels, you're hoping for not so much rain, but Daniels has been an absolute game changer, game breaker. He's going to be a league winner once again, man. A low-level risk, fire him up. 327 points, even if it is raining, they're going to run the football quite a bit. I do like it. Falcons' defense is good enough. They're not great, so I do like Jaden Daniels this week. Once again, to carry us to the trophies, no question. B-Rob failed us last week. I'm going to call a bounce back in the green. They got to run the football, especially in the wet weather, potentially. I do like B-Rob this week, especially to find his way back into the end zone. He killed all y'all last week. I do apologize. Thought it was going to be a good game for him. Was not. I do like a bounce back this week. We're scary Terry McLaurin, low-level risk. Fire him up everywhere you got him. Even dealing with that ankle, he should be good to go. Have not seen anything to suggest otherwise. Scary Terry should have another big day. Career season for this man. 12 booms, 209 points. Love me some Terry. I even had him in the offseason as the safe play. Thank you for repaying us this year, Terry McLaurin. Luke McCaffrey, Diami Brown not touching it. We're Zach Ertz. PPR floor on the mid-level. Lower ranks down my board as well. I think there are better options this week as well. But there you have it. That is Start Sit week number 17. Last one of the fantasy football season. I truly appreciate everybody, all the support we've given. Like I said, stick around for the offseason. I get you covered, not only for the NFL rookies, for your favorite team, for your dynasty drafts. I got you covered. We will be dropping a draft guide this year as well. I can't wait for all of this, so definitely stick around, and I truly appreciate all the support. And if I don't say it, I will put out some videos before the new year, so I'll wait for that anyway. But I do appreciate everybody. Drop your questions in the comments. I'll definitely get back to you as best as I can. But nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button and that subscribe button. Jump in those comments. Give me your thoughts like I'm saying. And we'll see you next time. I am out.